When you arrived home, you felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Sitting down with your parents, you took a deep breath and began to speak. Mom, Dad, I have something important to tell you. You started. Your voice steady, but your heart was racing. Jungkook asked me to be Jia's mother. Your parents looked at you with surprise and concern. They have some kind of fear in their eyes, which you didn't observe. What did you say? I care about Jia a lot and I think I can make a difference in her life. You paused and then added, but there is something else. I lied to Jungkook that I have a boyfriend. Soon you said that, suddenly you felt a hand grab your neck from behind, making you gasp in shock. A chilling voice whispered in your ear, "Is that a lie?" You started shivering, recognizing the voice immediately. John, your boyfriend, stepped into the scene, his eyes cold and threatening. "Is that a lie?" he repeated, and his grip tightening. No, you stuttered, your voice trembling with fear. John slapped you hard across the face, making you stumble. "You lying to me now?" He smirked. Your parents jumped up, pleading with him. "Please, leave her alone," your father begged. But he ignored them, grabbing your hair and yanking you back. "You think you can get away from me?" he growled in anger. You winced in pain, tears streaming down your face. "Please, John, let me go," you pleaded, and your voice breaking. John's eyes fumed with anger, and he again, harder this time. You tried to shout back to defend yourself. "John, leave me. What do you think of me?" He laughed and pulled out his phone, showing you a video. Your heart sank as you saw it was a private video he had been using to you. "You know what happens if you cross me?" he hissed, his voice low and dangerous. You quickly became silent, the fear paralyzing you. Your parents were in tears, begging him to leave you alone. "Please, John, don't hurt her," your mother sobbed. John finally released you, but his warning was clear. "You leave the job, or else," he warned before storming out of your house. Your parents rushed to your side, holding you as you broke down in tears. "Why didn't you tell us, Ryan?" Your father asked, his voice filled with pain. "He got to know what you were going through today. John, who came before you, hidden behind the curtains to listen to you, as he was seeing some changes in you since when you met Jungkook." Through your sobs, you explained, "It's been a year since I met John. He was sweet at first, but then he started me." You explained everything to them. "I'm scared, and I don't know what to do now." Your mother held you close, her voice soothing. "We will figure this out, honey. You don't have to face this alone. You can file a case to cops, but you know it will only increase the problem more because he has strong connections and power in the society." The next day, you arrived at the school feeling a mix of anxiety and determination. As soon as Gia saw you, she ran towards you, her face lighting up with a big smile. "Miss Vine," she called out, throwing her arms around you. You hugged her tightly, trying to hide your inner pain with a warm smile. "Good morning, Gia. How are you today?" I'm happy to see you, she said, holding on to your hand. Just then Jungkook appeared, his presence instantly making your heart race. You both exchanged awkward glances, the unspoken pain evident in your eyes. Good morning, Ryan, he greeted, his voice gentle yet filled with concern. Good morning, Jungkook, you replied, trying to keep your tone neutral. Jungkook's eyes fallen to the red mark on your cheek, his brow furrowing with worry. What happened to your cheek? He asked, his voice filled with concern. Panic started in you and you quickly looked away. It's nothing, I have to get to class. He mumbled, turning to leave before he could ask more. Jungkook watched you walk away, confusion and worry visible on his face. Later that day, he went to Jimin hoping to get some clarity about you. What do you want to talk? He asked Jungkook, who was sipping his wine. Jimin, I want to talk about wine, he said, and his voice tense. Jimin looked at him attentively as he thought it was something serious. What's wrong with wine, Jungkook? I asked her to be a mother to Chia. Jimin was shocked upon hearing him. What did she say? Did she agree? She has a boyfriend. Jimin sighed disappointingly as he didn't expect this twist. Then it's over. It's clear she cannot be a mother to Chia. He didn't take this seriously as he had control over his emotions. Being in the mafia field, shocking news was just a normal news to them. It's not that, Jimin. I noticed a red mark on her cheek today, and when I asked her about it, she avoided answering and left in a hurry. Do you know anything about this? He asked, as worry evident on his face. Jimin sighed deeply, his expression serious. Jungkook, I think there is something going on than we realize. I feel bad because she mentioned having a boyfriend, and now there is this mark on her cheek. Jungkook's eyes darkened with concern. We should think about this carefully. Something is not clear. I'm worried about her. As the days passed, you began to avoid Jungkook, finding excuses not to go to his mansion to tutor Chia. Each time you saw him at school, you made up reasons about not feeling well, trying to keep your distance. One afternoon, as you were leaving the school, Jungkook approached you. Ryan, can we talk for a moment? He asked, his voice gentle but firm. Mr. Jungkook, what are you doing here? You will be coming in the evening to pick up Jia. Yes, but now I came to meet you. You were surprised. He took a deep breath, his eyes searching yours. I'm worried about you. You have been avoiding me, and I can see that something is wrong. Please, let me help. Your throat tightened and you struggled to maintain your composure, Mr. Jungkook. I appreciate your concern, but everything is fine. I just haven't been falling well. He shook his head, not convinced. Fine, I know you're lying. I saw the mark on your cheek, and I know something is going on. Please, trust me. Tears formed up in your eyes, and you looked away to hide your tears from him. Jungkook, I can't. I can't talk about it. I have to go. Bye. He reached out gently, touching your arm. You don't have to face this alone. Whatever it is, I'm here for you, Ryan. You pulled away, your voice trembling. I'm sorry, Mr. Jungkook. I have to go. As you hurried away, Jungkook watched you, his heart heavy with worry and frustration. He knew there was more to your story, and he wanted to help you. One day, while passing by Jia's classroom, you noticed a group of senior students surrounding her. Their taunts and jeers clearly upset her. You felt bad as you saw the tears in Jia's eyes. Hey girls, you called out, stepping into the classroom with serious expression on your face. What's going on here? The bullies looked at you arrogantly, but your stern gaze made them scared of you. Stop this right now. Bullying is not tolerated here. You commanded, and your voice firm. The senior students muttered under their breaths and backed off, leaving Gia alone. You walked over to her, kneeling down to her level. Are you okay, Gia? You asked, gently pulling her into a comforting hug. Gia clung to you, sobbing into your shoulder. Miss Wine, why do they hate me? She cried. You stroked her hair, trying to soothe her. Some people are just mean, Gia, but you're strong and you're loved. Don't let them get to you. Gia pulled back slightly, looking up at you with tearful eyes. Miss Wine, please tell me the truth. Are you not my mother? Your heart ached at her words, the weight of the situation pressing down on you. You wanted to care for her like a mother, but you knew you couldn't lie. You were helpless, feeling trapped between your desire to protect her and the reality of your situation. You began, but the words caught in your throat. Unable to answer, you gave her one last comforting hug before leaving the classroom. Your heart was heavy with sorrow. That night, Gia had dinner and Jungkook was reading story for her. Daddy, why is Miss Wine not coming? I'm missing her stories. She is not feeling well lately, Gia. She will come soon. Now go to sleep. You're not feeling well already. He tucked her in bed. At midnight, Gia had a nightmare. She tossed and turned, crying out your name, Miss Wine, Miss Wine. She sobbed in her sleep. Jungkook, hearing her cries, rushed to her room. His heart was broken seeing her like that. He gently shook her awake, trying to comfort her. Gia, it's okay, I'm here, he whispered, holding her close. But Gia continued to cry, calling out for you. Jungkook felt a deep pain seeing his daughter in such a state. He decided to find you. He left Gia with a maid, Maria, and headed straight to your house. He arrived at your house, banging on the door. John answered, his expression cold. Who are you? What do you want? He asked. I need to meet Wine. You can't meet her, he said seriously. Jungkook got angry as he understood he was your boyfriend and now not letting you meet him. I need to see Wine, he demanded, trying to push him back. They are not here. They left the city. He lied, blocking the entrance. Jungkook was about to leave in disappointment when he heard a faint, desperate whisper, Jungkook, Jungkook. Your voice was weak, but he can recognize it very well. His eyes narrowed and he pushed John, heading towards the side of the sound. John tried to stop him, but Jungkook's anger gave him strength. He punched John, knocking him to the ground and rushed to the locked room. He kicked the door open and was horrified to see you and your parents tied up with ropes, bruises covering your faces. Oh my God, Ryan! He breathed, rushing to your side. He quickly untied you, his hands trembling with fear. Are you okay? He asked, his voice choked with emotion. You nodded weakly, tears streaming down your face. Jungkook, thank you. You whispered, collapsing into his arms. He turned to your parents, freeing them as well. I'm getting you all out of here. You are coming with me. Jungkook helped you to your feet, supporting you as he stumbled. But then John came inside. Where are you taking her? She is my girlfriend. She belongs to me only. Jungkook's blood boiled with anger. He made you sit on the chair and folded his sleeves. Before punching John's face, John didn't give up and fought back. How can you do this to Ryan? I will not leave you today. He jumped into the air and kicked in John's stomach, who immediately spit out the. He beat John to. He led you and your parents out of house, leaving John unconscious on the floor. Once outside, he made you sit in the car before handing you a water bottle and drove off to his mansion. During the drive, Jungkook held your hand, his touch providing comfort and reassurance. You're safe now, Ryan. I won't let him hurt you again. He vowed. I'm fine, Mr. Jungkook, don't worry. You replied, smiling slightly. When you arrived at Jungkook's mansion, he guided you inside where Jimin and a few other trusted men were waiting. Jimin, get a doctor and make sure Ryan and her parents are taken care of. Just then Maria came there running. Sir, Gia is still crying for Miss Ryan. Her body is getting hit. As soon as you heard that, you quickly ran to Gia's room where everyone was surprised as you were looking weak, but it didn't stop you from thinking about Gia. Gia, as soon as Gia heard your voice, her eyes fluttered open. Seeing you, she smiled through her tears, her little face lighting up with happiness. Miss Ryan, she cried, and her voice filled with relief and joy. She got up from the bed and ran into your arms, hugging you tightly. I missed you so much. Please stay with me. Your heart ached, seeing her in such a vulnerable state. You hugged her back and your voice gentle. I missed you too, Gia. I will stay right here beside you. Gia's sobs quieted as she clung to you, and Jungkook, watching from the doorway, felt relief. Seeing Gia calm and happy brought a rare soft smile to his face. You looked at him, blinking your eyes in silent reassurance. The doctor entered the room and checked both you and Gia, giving you each a set of medicines. You both need to rest and take these medicines. You will be fine soon, he said kindly before leaving. Gia looked up at you with wide, hopeful eyes. Miss Vine, you will stay with me forever. Aren't you my mother? You smiled, brushing her hair back gently. Yes, Gia, I'm your mother. You have won the hide and seek game. I promise I will be with you forever. Gia's face lit up with joy as she hugged you tighter. I love you too, mommy. Jungkook's eyes softened as he watched his heartfelt moment. For a man known as fearsome mafia leader, his eyes now shone with unspoken emotions. He was relieved and deeply moved by your words. You met Jungkook's gaze, your eyes conveying gratitude and affection. Thank you, Jungkook. You said softly, your voice filled with sincerity. He stepped closer, his voice low but filled with warmth. Thank you, Wine, for everything. Gia is happy because of you now. You smiled at him, feeling a deep connection and understanding. We are a family now. You said your words simple but powerful. He nodded, a rare smile gracing his lips. As we are, and I will do everything to protect our family. Later that evening, as Gia fell asleep in your arms, he watched over you both, his heart full. He knew that this was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with love, hope, and the promise of a bright future. I love you, man, I whispered and walked out of the room, leaving you both alone in sleep. Thank you for watching.